The Galactic Council's ruling chamber was a cathedral of alien technology and cold authority. Towers of light hummed with intelligence, and holographic projections of star systems floated above the delegates' heads. 1,000 alien voices debated Earth's place in the galaxy, yet none seemed to notice the simmering storm below. The latest decree was harsh and explicit. Humans were to surrender control of their planetary defenses, share all advanced technology, and submit to the Council's oversight in every interstellar engagement. Failure would be met with corrective measures. On Earth, the news struck like a meteor. Across continents, humans paused mid-step, staring at screens that broadcasted the Council's message. In New York, Admiral Kara Voss watched the announcement on the bridge of an orbital defense station. Her jaw tightened as she scanned the data. Orbital defense satellites, once autonomous, would now be monitored and overridden by alien command. "They don't understand us," she muttered, voice tight with anger. Around her, scientists and military strategists whispered, their eyes wide with both fear and determination. It wasn't just the decree, it was the cumulative weight of centuries of condescension. Humans had been underestimated, laughed at, even exploited by alien civilizations who believed their technological superiority made them infallible. And yet, despite the ridicule, humanity had survived, adapted, and thrived. Every attack, every attempt to suppress them, had only sharpened human ingenuity and unity. In hidden laboratories and bunkers, engineers and scientists were already at work. Dr. Elena Rhee, a physicist whose brilliance had saved the orbital network from a catastrophic asteroid collision, adjusted the calibration of a prototype propulsion system that could maneuver small crafts faster than any Council cruiser could track. Pilots ran simulations in virtual combat zones, testing maneuvers that bent the known limits of physics, while civilians volunteered for operations ranging from intelligence gathering to technical sabotage. Across oceans, underground networks sent encrypted messages. "We are ready. They will see us as we truly are." On the streets, the populace reacted in waves of defiance and solidarity. Protests surged, not in chaos, but in calculated demonstrations of unity, a message that humanity's spirit was unbroken. Communities fortified, not out of fear, but out of pride. Earth was no longer a passive world to be managed by distant overlords. It was a force, alive with ingenuity and resilience. The Council, confident in their superiority, could not see the storm brewing. They assumed humans were clever but limited, capable of fleeting resistance but ultimately compliant. They were wrong. Deep beneath the surface of bustling cities, hidden fleets were being readied, stealth satellites aligned, and weapon systems reverse-engineered. Every human involved knew the stakes. This wasn't just about survival, it was about sending a message across the stars. For centuries, humans had been underestimated. For centuries, they had been told to obey. But now, after the Council went too far, humanity's patience had snapped. And when humans snapped, the galaxy would tremble.
Earth moved in silence. While the Council basked in their overconfidence, believing humanity would submit as they always had, humans orchestrated a hidden revolution of precision and ingenuity. Deep beneath the surface, in secret orbital docks and subterranean laboratories, humanity's response took shape. Fleets of sleek, stealth-adapted ships were assembled, their hulls coated in adaptive materials that rendered them invisible to alien sensors. Satellites and drones were retrofitted with weaponized systems, not for brute force, but for strategic strikes that could cripple even the most technologically superior alien vessels. At the heart of this effort was Dr. Elena Rhee, whose genius had turned theoretical physics into practical weapons and propulsion systems. She moved between labs like a conductor guiding an orchestra, ensuring each invention worked in harmony with the others. Small strike craft, capable of incredible speed and agility, were her pride, designed to exploit weaknesses in the Council's rigid and predictable formations. They never expect humans to bend the rules of engagement, she explained to Admiral Kara Voss. But that's exactly what we'll do. Admiral Voss herself orchestrated the human military network, coordinating orbital defenses with precision ground maneuvers. Soldiers trained in zero-gravity combat ran simulations that forced them to react in split seconds, while drones tested every possible scenario the Council could throw at them. Meanwhile, diplomats infiltrated communications channels, feeding misinformation and creating doubt among the Council's member species. By the time humans were ready to strike, the Council would believe they were still the naive, subordinate species they had always dismissed. The world below mirrored the organized chaos above. Civilians volunteered for missions that ranged from intelligence gathering to technological sabotage. Engineers worked around the clock to optimize existing resources, building modular weapons and rapid deployment systems. Cities became fortresses of ingenuity, each building a node in the larger network that would support Earth's defense and offensive capabilities. Humanity's unity was not blind obedience. It was a conscious, collective determination to protect their freedom and assert their place in the galaxy. Even as humans prepared, tension simmered in every council chamber. Delegates debated minor infractions and overlooked the signs of an emerging threat, dismissing reports of unusual satellite activity and unexplained power surges. They assumed that the humans' ingenuity had limits, that the species' apparent recklessness would falter under real pressure. They could not see that humans thrived on unpredictability, on the clever use of limited resources, and on the sheer audacity of a species that refused to bow. Night after night, Earth's skies became a silent testament to preparation. Hidden fleets glimmered faintly beyond the reach of alien sensors, while humans worked tirelessly beneath, ensuring every system was tested, every pilot trained, and every weapon ready. The storm was gathering. Humans were not just preparing to defend their world, they were preparing to show the galaxy that underestimating humanity was the gravest mistake the Council could make. And when the first strike came, it would not just be a defense, it would be a declaration. Humanity was done waiting, done submitting, and done being dismissed.
The Council struck first, believing they could crush humanity with overwhelming force. Massive alien warships appeared in Earth's orbit, dark silhouettes against the blue of the planet below. Energy beams lanced toward defensive satellites, and shockwaves rattled cities as orbital weapons fired with precision. The Council expected chaos, surrender, and compliance, but Earth had been waiting. Hidden among the stars, humanity's fleets lay in ambush. Stealth craft darted through the black void, invisible to the alien sensors. Strike teams moved with calculated precision, slipping between the Council's cruisers, disabling shield generators and communications arrays. Humans fought differently from the rigidly structured alien forces. Every maneuver was unpredictable, every attack unorthodox. Admiral Kara Voss watched the first wave of Council ships falter on the tactical displays of the flagship Resolute. "They think they know our limits," she said quietly. "They're about to learn they don't." With a signal, coordinated strikes rippled across the battlefield. Drones targeted weapons systems, and rapid deployment crafts infiltrated command hubs on enemy vessels. Aliens' confidence crumbled as their supposed invincibility was shattered by a species they had dismissed. On Earth, citizens became unsung heroes. Engineers repaired satellite arrays mid-battle, pilots executed impossible maneuvers, and civilians monitored communication channels, relaying vital intel to commanders in orbit. Each individual acted with autonomy and courage, proving that humanity's strength was not just technology, it was adaptability, creativity, and the will to survive. The Council's elite units, accustomed to intimidation and obedience, struggled against the humans' fluid tactics. Missiles fired in predictable arcs were dodged with precision. Attempts to board ships were countered with traps that leveraged human ingenuity. Even the most disciplined alien forces found themselves outmatched by unpredictable and audacious strategies, a pattern they could not counter. Stories of heroism spread quickly across Earth's networks. Pilots who flew alone into swarms of alien fighters, engineers who risked their lives to keep critical systems online, and civilians who sabotaged key Council transmissions became symbols of humanity's defiance. The narrative was no longer just about survival. It was about proving that humans could defy the odds, that underestimating them was a fatal mistake. As the battle raged, it became clear the tide had shifted. Humanity's retaliation was not merely defensive, it was a statement. The Council expected submission, but they were met with an opponent who thrived on unpredictability, courage, and unity. Every ship lost by humans inspired more ingenuity. Every strike that succeeded demonstrated their growing dominance in the fight. By the time the Council realized the scale of their miscalculation, humans had not only defended Earth, they had challenged the entire hierarchical order of the galaxy. Humanity had snapped, and their wrath was measured, precise, and unstoppable. The first blows had been struck, but the war was far from over. And looming ahead, the humans prepared for the decisive strike that would shake the Council to its very core, one that would leave no doubt that Earth was no longer a subject to control, but a force to be reckoned with.
The Council had underestimated humanity for the last time. Their arrogance, their rigid hierarchy, and their assumption that humans would submit had all led to this moment. From the shadow of Earth's orbit, the human fleets moved with flawless precision, each vessel a testament to ingenuity, strategy, and unwavering resolve. This was not just a battle, it was a declaration, a reckoning for every insult, every condescension, every attempt to suppress humanity's potential. Admiral Kara Voss stood on the bridge of the flagship Resolute, her eyes scanning the holographic projection of the Council's central command hub. It floated at the heart of a distant star system, heavily defended by fleets that had never faced such unpredictability. "Initiate Phase 1, she ordered. Every human pilot, engineer, and soldier knew their roles. Every weapon, every stealth craft, and every sabotage team had been tested, rehearsed, and perfected. The galaxy had never seen a species prepare with such cohesion and ingenuity. The strike began. Human drones infiltrated the outer defenses of the command hub, disabling surveillance systems and opening gaps for the fleet. Stealth craft darted in and out of blind spots, taking out weapon emplacements with pinpoint accuracy. Sabotage teams, equipped with portable disruptors and advanced hacking tools, boarded the station's outer platforms, turning the Council's own technology against them. Every move was calculated, yet fluid, exploiting weaknesses the Council had never anticipated. Inside the hub, alarms blared as the alien delegates realized the scale of humanity's assault. Panic rippled through their ranks as ships fell one by one, systems were disabled, and communications went dark. For centuries they had believed themselves untouchable, but humans were proving otherwise. Each victory was not just tactical, it was psychological, shattering the Council's confidence and sowing discord among their members. On Earth, citizens watched in awe and relief as transmissions from the front lines confirmed the human advance. Engineers patched failing systems mid-battle, while pilots executed daring maneuvers that turned potential disasters into triumphs. Even ordinary civilians, far from the front, contributed by feeding intelligence, recalibrating satellites, and coordinating global efforts. Humanity had become a single organism of determination and creativity, unstoppable in its resolve. As the final Council ship was disabled and the command hub fell silent, Admiral Voss allowed herself a moment to breathe. "We've done it," she said, voice steady but filled with awe. Humanity had not only defended Earth, they had rewritten the rules of galactic power. The Council had been forced to acknowledge the unthinkable. Humans were not weak, not submissive, and not to be underestimated. Across the galaxy, oppressed species watched and took note. The stories of human ingenuity, bravery, and audacity spread like wildfire. For the first time, a species thought insignificant had toppled a galactic hierarchy built on fear and superiority. Earth had proven that adaptability, unity, and the courage to fight for freedom could overcome even the most technologically advanced adversaries. As the dust of battle settled among the stars, humanity stood proud and unbowed. Ships returned to orbit, systems stabilized, and the planet below hummed with life and relief. Humans had survived, fought, and won, not by sheer force, but by determination, intelligence, and unity. The Council had gone too far, and humanity had finally snapped. And now the galaxy knew. Earth was no longer a subject to control. It was a force.